The clock stopped at 43.45 seconds, a time never before recorded in the men's 400 meters. On a warm evening at the 1987 World Championships in Rome, Thomas Schönlebe crossed the finish line first, setting a new world record on the sport's most demanding sprint stage. The moment carried the weight of expectation, competition, and history, as the world watched a performance measured not only by speed, but by precision and endurance. How should this achievement be remembered, and where does it place its author in the broader story of sprinting? This documentary explores the career, discipline, and achievements of Thomas Schönlebe, revealing the journey behind the medal. Thomas Schönlebe emerged during a period when the 400 meters was evolving into one of athletics' most technically demanding events. Requiring the explosive acceleration of a sprinter and the endurance of a middle-distance runner, the race punishes even minor errors in pacing. Schönlebe's career developed within this context, where fractions of a second separated global champions from the rest of the field. Born in the German Democratic Republic, Schönlebe entered organized athletics through the structured sports system that identified and developed young talent from an early age. His early involvement in track and field reflected a focus on technical efficiency and discipline training. Coaches recognized his potential in sprint events, particularly the 400 meters, where his stride pattern, rhythm, and ability to maintain speed over the final bend distinguished him from many of his peers. As he progressed through national competitions, Schönlebe demonstrated steady improvement rather than sudden breakthrough. His development followed a methodical path, built on repetition, conditioning, and race experience. By the mid-1980s, he had established himself among the leading quarter-milers in East Germany, earning selection for international competitions where he would be tested against the world's strongest athletes. The European Championships of 1986 marked a significant milestone. Competing against an elite continental field, Schönlebe claimed the gold medal in the 400 meters, confirming his position among Europe's best. The victory was not defined by dramatic margins but by execution-controlled acceleration, balanced curve running, and sustained form in the home straight. It signaled that he was prepared to contend at the highest level. This momentum carried into the following season. The 1987 World Championships in Rome represented the most competitive environment of Schönlebe's career. The global field included Olympic finalists, national record holders, and emerging talents, each prepared for peak performance. In the final, Schönlebe delivered a race that combined tactical discipline with extraordinary speed. Passing the halfway mark in control, he maintained velocity through the final curve and resisted fatigue down the straight. When he crossed the finish line, the time 43.45 seconds stood as a new world record. It was an achievement that placed Schönlebe at the forefront of the event globally. The performance was widely recognized as a benchmark of efficiency and pacing in the 400 meters, reflecting years of systematic preparation rather than a single moment of inspiration. Following the World Championship victory, Schönlebe's position in international athletics was firmly established. His races were now measured against the highest standard, and expectations followed him to every major competition. Maintaining such a level required consistency, physical resilience, and continued technical refinement. The Olympic Games in Seoul in 1988 provided the next defining chapter. Entering the competition, among the favorites, Schönlebe faced a field that included athletes capable of exceptional performances on the day. In the individual 400 meters final, he delivered a disciplined race and secured the bronze medal. The podium finish represented not only personal achievement but continuity proof that his World Championship success was not isolated. In addition to his individual performance, Schönlebe contributed to relay competitions, where the 400 meters demands precise baton exchanges and synchronized pacing. Relay participation highlighted his reliability and technical consistency, qualities valued in team events where errors are magnified. Throughout the late 1980s, Schönlebe remained a prominent figure in the 400 meters. His career coincided with a period of significant transition in international athletics, including changes in competition structures and increased global depth in sprint events. Despite these shifts, his performances continued to reflect a high standard of preparation and execution. Central to Schönlebe's success was his training approach. Public records and interviews emphasized structured planning, repetition, and attention to race distribution. The 400 meters leaves little room for improvisation. Athletes must commit to a strategy before the gun. Schönlebe's races consistently showed an understanding of when to apply pressure and when to conserve energy, particularly through the second bend, where many races are lost. His competitive mindset was characterized by focus rather than spectacle. There are no widely documented accounts of flamboyant gestures or public theatrics. Instead, his presence on the track communicated discipline and concentration. This approach aligned with the broader ethos of elite sprint training at the time, where efficiency and execution were prioritized. As the decade progressed, Schönlebe faced the inevitable challenges of elite sport. Maintaining peak condition across seasons requires adaptation, and competition intensifies as new athletes emerge. His later competitive years reflected a gradual transition rather than abrupt decline. He continued to compete at a high level, contributing to national teams and maintaining respect within the athletics community. Following his retirement from elite competition, Schönlebe remained connected to the sport. Publicly available information indicates involvement in coaching and athletic development, where former elite athletes often apply their experience to guiding younger generations. His post-competitive activities reflect continuity rather than departure, a sustained relationship with athletics beyond medals and records. In evaluating Thomas Schönlebe's legacy, his achievements stand on measurable outcomes. A world championship title, a world record, an Olympic bronze medal, and European success form a record that places him among the most accomplished 400-meter runners of his era. These results are not defined by controversy or speculation, but by performance recorded on the track. The world record set in 1987 remains a reference point in the history of the event. While records are eventually surpassed, each one represents a moment when the limits of the sport were redefined. Schönlebe's performance in Rome is remembered for its clarity and athlete executing a race plan with exceptional precision under the highest pressure. Beyond statistics, his career illustrates the demands of the 400 meters itself. It is an event that tests physical capacity, technical control, and mental discipline simultaneously. Schönlebe's sustained success demonstrates an ability to balance these elements across multiple seasons, adapting to evolving competition without abandoning foundational principles. His story also reflects the broader narrative of athletics in the late 20th century, a period marked by intense international rivalry and rapid performance progression. Within this environment, Schönlebe achieved distinction through consistency and documented excellence, leaving a record that remains part of the sport's historical framework. As time passes, recognition in athletics often shifts toward newer performances, yet the significance of earlier achievements endures through records and championships. Thomas Schönlebe's career invites reflection on how excellence is defined not only by momentary success, but by sustained contribution to the standards of an event. In conclusion, Thomas Schönlebe's journey through elite athletics represents dedication, technical mastery, and competitive integrity. His accomplishments in the 400 meters continue to illustrate what is possible when preparation meets opportunity. For audiences seeking to understand the discipline behind elite performance, his career offers a clear and documented example. If you value stories that honor athletic achievement through facts, context, and respect, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to Behind the Medal, where the focus remains on the journey behind every performance. This video contains generated images. They are used only for creative illustration and may not represent the athlete's exact appearance.